How's it going, my friends? Back with another video. Just wanted to say thank you guys for this past week. I know I haven't put out a new video since last weekend, but been traveling, really had a lot of stuff going on. Had a wedding last weekend and an engagement shoot the day before, and then I've been in upstate New York all week for some work. So I've been traveling around and everything's been kind of crazy this week. But thanks for all the engagement this week. Everybody's been, throwing off more questions and everything. Again, I'm getting hundreds of comments, so if you don't see your question answered, yeah, just shoot me an email. And even the emails are getting kind of tough to respond to. So I'm trying to develop a way that I can maybe streamline this a little bit better. And because the thing is, guys, is like what I'm finding with this channel is I'm really into teaching. Like, I didn't know, I've never actually like been in a situation other than like close personal people where I've actually taught and kind of shared my knowledge and tips and tricks and things like that I know. And I'm finding that I'm really looking forward to making these videos and helping you guys. But it's hard to get the questions answered, and because there's so much coming at me. I mean, I don't really know what the future holds for me, but I feel like teaching is definitely going to be something that I'm going to want to pursue in some type of way. I don't know if it's going to be a workshop. Workshops, guys, I have a kind of like a love-hate thing with them. I've never done a workshop before, and I've never been to one or put one on. And I always kind of had this thing where, most workshops are kind of bullshit. Like, I feel like, you shouldn't be almost like, having somebody else teach you the way that they do it. More like, if I ever did a workshop, it would be helping people to develop their own uniqueness with photography, or showing other people the way that I followed my instincts with certain things, and basically being more focused on, if somebody signed up with me, they'd get individual, like one-on-one development of their eye, rather than me just being like, oh, shoot it this way, or like look at this technique, or do a reflection with your phone or something like that. I've seen a lot of workshops like that, and I think that if you're, you guys have heard me in other videos, if you're going to create something that's going to be unique for the world and create true beauty through images, the only way you can do that in an authentic way is to follow your own instincts and develop your own story through your lens. So, I don't know, maybe I'll put together curriculum for something like that. I don't even, let me know if there's any interest or something like that. Maybe I'll put something together with my wife. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about my experience with the 24 1.4 Sigma lens over the last week and a half. So I did an unboxing. I got this thing. It was just a very quick video on it, just like my initial thoughts of pulling it out of the box and everything. But I've used this now on the wedding, and I used it on an engagement shoot and a couple different shoots. So I have a little bit of experience with it now. This is the first time I've ever shot Sigma art lenses, and I gotta say, I am very impressed with it. So, I don't know why people, God, it just aggravates me so much, guys, when people, have rigid belief systems and, they're not even really out there shooting. Like, they put their belief systems about gear above actually making photographs. It just drives me absolutely nuts. So I'm not even going to get into conversations with people who, if you are stuck on just a brand and all your beliefs about photography are like based off of like the brand, and you can't let anything else in your mind, I can't even respond to you, because the thing is I care about making photos. I care about what is going to get out of my way the quickest and what's going to allow me to do my job. I do not care about the brand. I don't care if the lens cost $400 or $4,000. I don't care about what anybody else says about the gear. All I care about is my experience with it. So, guys, you could take it for what it's worth. Take my reviews on this for what it's worth. But you just know that I actually am using this in a professional setting. I'm actually doing paid work with the lens. I'm not just going out every once in a while shooting some flowers or, you know, doing like a half an hour of street photography a week and then just saying that I know exactly, you know, I can break this down for you perfectly. No, I'm actually putting this through the ringer. I'm running around with it. I'm jumping up on chairs. I'm in the reception halls. I'm doing portraits with it. So, you know, obviously I haven't used this for years, but I could just tell you my initial reactions from using this on real paid gigs. So first thing is the cons about it. The thing I didn't like was how heavy it is. It is a really, really heavy lens. It's you know, out of all my primes, it's the heaviest by far. That's not even too much of a drawback though, because I'm using it on the Z6. You know, it's a mirrorless body. It's a small, lightweight anyways. So, you know, it's not too big of a deal, but if I was using it, if I had this on a DSLR body, this would definitely be like, you know, a drawback. I don't know how many wedding photographers are actually subscribed to my channels, but you guys know, obviously, after you go over like 6-8 hour weddings, I mean, dude, carrying the gear around for that long, if you're one of those I'm a very high energy shooter. I'm constantly jumping around. I'm constantly standing on things. I'm laying on the ground. I'm doing a bunch of different angles. So having gear that's light is definitely important to me. And this lens is not light at all. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the drawbacks. The other drawback is it doesn't look like it's weather sealed. I don't know why Sigma didn't put just a rubber gasket around the mount. Like, it doesn't seem like that would be a very expensive addition, you know? So it does worry me a little bit because it's a mirrorless body, so there's no, you know, there's no mirror covering the sensor. It's just an open and, you know, just an open sensor right there once you take the lens off. But again, I don't switch lenses too much. I have 2 camera bodies. And I have 2 lenses, pretty much, unless I run into an extreme situation where I need to use a 70-200. I'm really not, you know, I'm not taking it off the body that much. But, you know, I mean, dust can get in there and dirt can get in there. I mean, like I said, I'm laying on the ground a lot and I'm just getting dirty. So, like, you know, grass or dirt could get in there, I guess. So I did find myself having to pay, like, extra attention to it, you know, throughout the day and just making sure that I wasn't getting it too dirty or anything like that. And when I'm taking it off upside down, blowing out with air, you know, that's always a good trick or technique to do anyways, just blowing it off. But just, you know, I don't think it would have been that much of a pain or that much of a cost addition for them to add a rubber gasket onto here. I don't know why that they didn't do that. I think that's stupid. But the pros, it's a fucking beautiful lens. I mean, it's producing great images. There's very little distortion unless you go right to the edges with faces and things like that. But I was I was composing some stuff that was, you know, pretty dynamic and had multiple people in the frame, and things did not look distorted, you know, at all, unless they were like right up to the edge. Extremely sharp lens. I know that everybody knows this about the Art series, but extremely sharp. I mean, it was very, very sharp. And I don't think that a lot of other lenses that I've used can compare to it. So the 35 1.8S lens, the new one for the Z mount that came out that I'm filming this on right now, is sharper all the way to the corners, definitely. But this one was very, very sharp. I mean, especially towards the middle stuff. I mean, faces, everything was like tack, dead nuts sharp. So another problem that people said that they had, which I didn't have any problems with, was the focusing. I'm kind of getting a sense that maybe people were having focusing issues on this from uncalibrated DSLR bodies. So I don't know if you guys know this, but with mirrorless bodies, you do not have to calibrate your lenses. Everything just comes, you can slap any lens on it and you don't have to calibrate the front and back focus issues. This thing did not have any problems with focus. Every single time I focused on something, it would lock onto it very, very fast. There was no delay for it, and it was tack sharp on everything I focused on. I use single point middle focus for probably 80% of the time. I don't move the focus points around unless it's a very crazy like situation that's not normal, like everything's posed and I have, 99% of the time I focus in the middle, they're recomposed. It's just how I do it, because I'm used to coming over from like the D700 and older cameras where that was just easier to do it that way. So I focus in the middle and then recompose. And I use back button focus, or I'm using the face detection for things like, you know, people coming down the aisle and, you know, people moving, things like that. But, you know, I didn't miss any focus, guys. So anybody saying that the Sigma lenses, the Art series lenses, have problems focusing on other, you know, cameras, not seeing it yet. Everything was fine for me. I didn't miss any shots, and everything looked good so far. So, and honestly, guys, I hope that you guys are taking me seriously and not thinking that I'm not telling the truth, because I have no reason. Honestly, I don't care about gear at all. I would buy Nikon lenses. I would buy Sigma lenses. I would buy Tamron. I would buy anything that's going to suit me the best. I don't like to spend a ton of money on things. I think most of the gear stuff that we're pushed is a scam, you know, basically. We don't need it. We need to work on our photography skills more and the way that we see things and generating creativity in our life before we go out and spend money on gear, because it's not going to make us better photographers ultimately. So I would test out the higher end, lower price stuff, definitely, before I go to, you know, buying a G series lens that costs triple the price. So this thing has performed great for me. Oh, also the color science on it. I you know, I don't know why people are complaining about it. For me, the color science looks great. And honestly too, a lot of that has to do with your light. The way that you're going to get color blending in photos and the quality of the color in the pictures. A lot of that's going to have to do with the quality of your light too. So, you know, I don't think that, I didn't see any problem with the color science. Stuff looked great. And plus, we put everything in the Lightroom anyways, so, you know, you can adjust. It's not a problem. So I used this thing on the wedding day last weekend, like pretty much the whole day. I wanted to test this out for you guys because, you know, it was a new lens. So I let my wife have the 35-85 combo, and I shot with the 24 and the 58. So I had that just because I didn't like, you know, I felt like jumping from the 24 all the way to the 85 would be too much of a jump. And plus the ceremony that we were at was a pretty small church, and everything wasn't too big in the reception hall either. So I felt like the 24 and the 85 combo was great. And honestly, I haven't shot with that in a long time. I'm so used to the 35 and the 85. It was great. It was really, really fun. And I would recommend, if you're looking for a 2 prime lens combo, you should try out the 35 and the 85, and then try out the 24 and the 58. Try those 2 combos together, and I think that you'll have really, really good results. But it was great. I shot everything from portraits to the I didn't bring this out for the ceremony. The ceremony was 99% on the 58. But the portraits, the getting ready stuff, the first dance on the dance floor. I mean, that's another thing with the focusing, is I was shooting this in all different types of light. When we got out of the ceremony, it was like, it was perfect light. The sun was going down. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. So I shot a lot of backlit stuff with this. Focused fine. No problems. In the reception hall, I was, you know, had my flashes out, low light, no problems. So I don't see any. What the problem is with the focusing, it might be a DSLR issue, maybe, but with the Z6, I can tell you it works flawlessly. I am actually kind of debating right now, from my experience with this, I'm kind of debating now whether I was going to get the new 85S lens when it comes out, because it's supposed to be released in April. But now I'm thinking maybe I should just go with Sigma, because, you know, my experience is so good with it so far. I'm going to test this out. Wedding season is about to start up. We have, in the next 3 months, we have like, I don't know, maybe 20 weddings, 18 weddings, something like that. We're absolutely stacked. So, you know, I'm going to try it more and then just see, but so far I'm really, really impressed with it. And, you know, I could see myself being a Sigma user. I don't see any problems with it so far, and I actually like really shooting with them. Especially the weight issue is not that bad because I'm on the mirrorless body. So, anyways, that's my review, guys. I don't think that anybody should be scared about trying these lenses. They're cheaper, you know? I mean, if you're coming from a DSLR, yes, you're going to have calibration problems, I guess, front and back focusing issues. Maybe that's just, you know, something that disappears with the mirrorless bodies. I don't know. I have another engagement shoot this weekend and a couple more next weekend, so I'm going to keep shooting with it and see. But right now, it is a very, very, very good lens for me, and I absolutely love shooting. It's kind of like a pleasure, actually. So I'm going to post some test shots on the in the links so you guys can see, you know, just a couple things that I shot with this over the last week and a half, so you guys can take a look at them. And yeah, let me know what you think. If you guys use Sigma lenses, let me know if I'm off on anything, or if you guys have had any issues with the a mirrorless body and the Sigma. Let me know, because the thing is I'm really enjoying it right now, but you know me, guys, I'm not tied to any piece of gear. If I don't like this thing, shit, I'll return it, and if it's past the return period, I'll sell it for a loss if I don't like it, because I won't use something that's not serving me well. Yes, I'm looking to spend the least amount of money as possible, but I'm not going to use something that's not serving me well, because ultimately my customers are depending on me. So but as of right now, it's great and I love it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and till next time, guys. Thanks.